Staying in Washington, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, giving his first congressional testimony on the Afghan withdrawal, and he calls it, quote, a strategic failure. The general telling Congress he believes the U.S. should have kept several thousand troops in the country to prevent that Taliban takeover. NewsNation Washington correspondent Joe Khalil live for us tonight in D.C. So, Joe, how contentious was today's hearing? I mean, calling it a strategic failure.
Yeah, Nicole, I mean, it was at times pretty contentious. These generals are good at, keeping their cool. We actually expected maybe some fireworks today about General Milley's recent comments in some bombshell books about the last couple of days of the Trump presidency, and maybe that was going to suck the oxygen out of the room. It didn't happen that much. It was addressed, but, you're right. The big point of contention was whether or not President Biden was listening to the recommendations of his generals and his commanders on the ground in Afghanistan, even months before this pullout.
He had no conditions other than to get our people out of Afghanistan, which he failed at.
The nation's top military commanders faced a grilling from senators on Capitol Hill about the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
We are not leaving Americans behind. That was your quote of just a minute ago. With all due respect, sir, you have left, past tense, Americans behind.
Many senators demanded to know whether President Biden ignored his top commander's advice. Generals Mark Milley and Ken McKenzie both acknowledged they favored leaving up to 2,500 troops on the ground indefinitely, advice that went ignored.
Why haven't you resigned?
My dad didn't get a choice to resign at Iwo Jima, and those kids that are at Abbey Gate, they don't get a choice to resign. And I'm not going to turn my back on them.
The generals and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin all say that remaining in Afghanistan beyond August 31st would have meant prolonged war, risking further American death. Most Democrats today defended the decision to pull out.
I think the president made exactly the right decision to withdraw from Afghanistan. We were continuing to pour resources into an army that obviously was unwilling to fight, and a government that was willing to run.
And for the first time publicly, General Milley addressed reports stemming from a recently published book about his concerns that in the final days of the Trump administration, the former president's behavior was a risk to national security. Milley took it upon himself to assure China the U.S. wasn't going to launch a nuclear strike.
I am certain that President Trump did not intend to attack the Chinese, and it is my directed responsibility, and it was my directed responsibility by the Secretary, to convey that intent to the Chinese. My task at that time was to de-escalate.
Now, he did elaborate on his communication with his Chinese counterpart at that time, General Milley did. Some Republicans have said that he should resign because of that. He maintains that he was just doing his job, that all of his communications, there were other people in the room. Secretary of Defense knew about it. And we know President Biden has also affirmed his confidence in General Milley as well. Nicole.
All right. Joe Khalil live for us tonight from the Capitol. Thank you.